Hawaii's number one for hip-hop, 93.9 The B. What's up? It's Romeo Valentine, and we're live in the Hawaiian Financial Music Hall, the iHeartRadio Music Hall, with special guests here today, okay? All the way to my far right, your far left, my brother right there, Siaosi.
What it do?
Talented musician, and actually, Siaosi, I go back way back with Siaosi, but he didn't remember me because I was a younger kid running around, but I'll tell you the story later.
Right.
And right here, this is Mr. Island Avenue, okay? He is on the biggest venture that you are going to see because Fahawai started Island Avenue, and he is bringing it to Nordstrom, which is a huge deal. The first poly brand ever in Nordstrom, which is insane. Man, welcome to both of you.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
Man, so let's start it out, man. The journey of Island Avenue, where did it start, and how did it get here?
Well, that's a loaded question, but let me try to take a stab at it. Obviously, Island Avenue, born and bred in Los Angeles, is where I grew up at. And as I mentioned earlier to someone with some of our interviews, ironically, it's a street that we grew up on. And it just so happened in the migration of Samoans going from Samoa to Hawaii and then Hawaii to Los Angeles, we actually congregated like 10, 12 Samoan families on this one street, and ironically was called Island Avenue. And so as I mentioned earlier in all other interviews, it was a sense of community, a sense of culture, and it was just a beautiful place, a safe haven for us to grow up at. But in the 80s and 90s, obviously growing up in Los Angeles, and that's where the gang culture took place, and unfortunately we lost a lot of loved ones to that. However, it was through that adversity that kind of built the brand to what it is, and so it's a symbol of no matter what you go through, no matter what goals that you have, if you stay the course, you can actually accomplish it. And so in the DNA of the brand, now that it's in Nordstrom's, a lot of that is there. A lot of it's born and bred, of overcoming adversity despite extreme measures to pursue your goals. In whatever it may be.
Yeah, wow. Jeez. In a nutshell, you did all that because actually you have a short film kind of like backing all that. And where can we find that short film that you have?
It's actually online, and we was fortunate enough for the first time we was able to tell the story. It started off as a video lookbook for the collection that's out right now in Nordstrom, and then it kind of morphed into this short film. And so for the first time, as I mentioned, that we were able to kind of combine the both, and we submitted to a couple film festivals and got picked up by like 10 film festivals. Yeah. So we had a little run 2 weeks ago in LA.
You got a big run. That was a big run, big dog. That's a big run.
In LA to be able to, tell the story. And it was, again, a great experience. I don't come from a film background, but it opened up doors, and now we be able to build relationships within the film industry just because of Follow Me Home, which is the short film.
Man, it seems like a lot of people in LA is rooting for you, man. You're like taking everything by you kind of have your hands in a lot of things. I mean, how and why? How did you gain the respect of everybody? And you're like, hey, this is the guy right here, because you are the guy.
Well, I mean, I hope, but just passionate about entrepreneurship in general, right? And I think it's along the lines of my personality as well. I'm a creative at heart. I love different industries. I have a passion for different things. I was one of those kids that couldn't sit still. I never wanted to be boxed in and labeled just one specific thing. And I just kind of like to, go to the beat of my own drum. And so I found out that entrepreneurship is my thing. And the first go at it was apparel. And obviously we've done really well there. We're part owners of the first NFT restaurant that kicked off last year. It's called Bored and Hungry.
Yeah.
We've expanded in the Philippines, have 3 locations there. We're opening up in Korea as well, and Taiwan, and Japan is on the clock. So that's done really well, as well as Belief Burgers. Because of my lifestyle, it's actually a vegan concept. And so that was our first take in the restaurant business. And then not only that, we launched a short film. And in breaking news, we're actually launching on behalf of my son, our own bottled water. And it's called F2O after his nickname is F2O Endurance Water. So coming to a 7-Eleven or a Costco near you.
That's exclusive right there. Yeah, or Foodland in Hawaii.
Or Foodland.
Let's go.
Foodland.
We'll take Foodland, Hawaiian Airlines, all that.
All that.
Yeah. Speaking of your son, I mean, you've seen him play phenomenally in the game of football, man. How did that come about?
Well, he's had a passion, from the beginning. I saw that he had the talent. He was willing to put in the work from beginning to now. And it's just been a great journey that we've been able to travel, with him, to see him grow within the sport. But it's just a testament of his hard work. I never wanted to force him to do anything that he wasn't passionate about. And this is the one thing that he's very, very passionate about. And not only that, he's an entrepreneur at heart, a philanthropist as well, in terms of giving back to the community. Yeah. And he knows that, so... Yep. Kudos to my son.
What I heard about athletes is they become like after like retirement, they become the ones who become like the brokest, or how should I say it, because they spend their money and they don't have that entrepreneur mindset. So I mean, you taught your son at a young age to have that. It's like it's hard to go broke when you have that kind of mindset versus you just splurge.
Absolutely. And so I, again, having played myself, I've seen a lot of former players that I played with and against go through that same kind of process, right? And so I knew when my son was going through that process that it wasn't going to end like that with him. So I wanted to prepare him. Obviously, he's financially literate. He owns all the businesses that we created. And so that way, when he transitions from professional sports to real life, he's ready to go. Yeah. Right? It's a turnkey operation, and it's all his.
Yeah. And to your right, man, you got brother Siaosi over there. So like I was saying earlier, I used to be a food runner. Because I never interviewed Siaosi, but I was a food runner when I was like 15 years old at this place called Capono's Bar and Grill. Okay, you see, that's why I told you he's not gonna remember. About that. Yeah. So I was a food runner. I was 15 years old. My uncle was the head chef over there, and Siaosi would play there every twice a week.
Yeah. Like Wednesday.
But he didn't know me because I was just a little kid.
No, I do remember you. I remember that now. That's so funny that you say that. I totally remember that. That's crazy.
Oh, you do remember? Okay. So yeah. But anyway, that's how far back. I mean, we did a little tour with Ellie Mack and all that in Maui. Yes. But you're here and you got an exclusive.
Yes.
Bro, hold on. I mean, I got my Island Avenue team, man. Fava, I appreciate you, man. This is the collab. So you've been doing a collab in every city that you've been doing a tour, and you got Siaosi, who, bro, phenomenal performer, phenomenal musician, phenomenal artist, and you tied him in. That's a dope shirt. So tell us, Siaosi, how'd you link up?
Man, I actually was introduced to Fava, and I was looking to find someone to help me with my Siaosi apparel, and so I reached out to him, and just through one text. And I think, to answer part of the question that you asked earlier of like why he's such a leader in the community is because he's always for the community. So it was super easy, the access to him. He didn't make it hard, or he didn't like brush me off. He really sat, and whatever I asked him, he would answer. And finally, he's like, man, he's like, you know what? Let's meet up. So it took off from there, and the day that I met up with him was super inspirational for me because a lot of times there's people that don't understand my vision, and sometimes they might think that it's a little out of the box or a little crazy. But besides my wife, this was the other person that was like, okay. I was like, oh, for real? Okay. So then, from that, we kind of... we built this relationship, man, where it was super easy for me to just ask him questions. Hey, man, do you have time for me? I just want to run this by you, So he's seen that I was trying to build the Siaosi name more into a lifestyle brand. He's like, let's do it. We're gonna do it like this, do it like this, do it like that. Next thing I know, man, he calls me. And reaches out to do this collab here in Hawaii. So first of all, man, thank you, and it's such an honor to be able to do something like that with someone like this who is always been about the community, always been about our people and uplifting everyone. And it's hard to find that sometimes in that mentorship. So now here we are in a very renowned establishment at Nordstrom, and who would ever thought, man, people like us, you know what I mean, being sold in a very well-known place like that.
I think you need to share the story of growing up in Kapahulu. And
yeah, man.
Come on, this is an inspiring story.
Let's hear it.
The viewers and listeners.
That was our mall. That was our mall, and we would just literally go in there. And I don't know if you remember Jungle Fun.
Oh, yeah.
At
Ala Moana?
At Ala Moana.
Yeah, of course.
So we would go there and literally just
sneak into the...
Yeah.
Me too.
And be with no money.
Let's go.
We would window shop and look at things. And the one thing I told Fava, I was like, bro, I remember we used to walk in here and like, man, then my friends would be like, man, don't walk in there. The only thing you can afford is a chocolate. And we would walk in, look at the chocolate, like, now we can't even afford the chocolate. Just put it back. Going from that that, you know, those times to now having my name, you know, displayed on, you know, on the shelf, it's mind blowing, man. You know, so it's a testimony of just, you know, if you just do it, you know, just take the leap, man, and do it, you know, and have faith in yourself. Anything is possible, man. I hope that don't sound too cliche, but
bro, it's never cliche. It's real. It's honest. It's straight up. Because I mean, I think when people actually understand it and they start to live it, they'll be like, oh shit, that's what he meant. Yeah, I think that's a lot of times that's what it is. Right. Man, that's crazy. I grew up in Makiki, so that's why I was always at Jungle Fun. We were right there.
Exactly.
I was always trying to get into Jungle Fun. I couldn't go.
Right.
Sheesh. But wow, what a cool story, man. I mean, what school did you go to?
I went to Kaimuki, the best school on this side of
Kaimuki.
Yeah,
I played Pop Warner for Kaimuki.
See,
but I went to Roosevelt.
Oh.
The best school.
Okay. The capital T.
Yeah. You know, Bruno Mars came from there.
Just some guy from Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know, little Bruno.
Yeah, you know Bruno, right?
You know, you know that guy. But man, so getting into Nordstrom, how did you construct that deal? Because I mean, that's like, you know, you can dream of it, but like you made it a reality.
Yeah, great question. And as I had mentioned, I can't help to. I was fortunate to speak in DC earlier this week for an entrepreneur summit, and I spoke about, you know, relationships, you know, and how important relationships are just in general. And I think we really tend to just kind of lose sight of that, right? And just building genuine relationships with people without having ulterior motives, right? And without having a hidden agenda. And when you're able to do that, you really connect with just great people. Yep. And then just so happens to find out, like, oh, the guy is the guy that licenses NBA 2K.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wow, okay, let's, you know, build a relationship. But it was the relationship that kicked it off. It just so happens he's a great guy, and he's like, you know, by the way, this is what I do. So along my path in apparel, as I had mentioned, that whatever industry that I go into, my goal has always been I'm gunning for the throne. So who is at the top, right? And whether it's the retailers or the brands, so to speak. And so when you think of retail icons, you think of a Nordstrom, you think of a Saks Fifth, right? Yeah. But you also think of the brands that are in there, the Versace's, the Fear of Gods, the Miris, right? So I've always said, look, if we're going to play in the big leagues, let's do it. Yeah. Right. And I've always had that imagination. Wow. I've always had that desire, that drive to do it. So when we got into apparel, I really believe that the name, the story, the aesthetic can compete with the big dogs. And here we are today. Right. So I walked in there with confidence. Obviously, a relationship led to one of the higher ups in Nordstrom, in which an email led to a buyer. And then from there, we was able to fly up there, show them the samples, and we sealed the deal. And it was a moment, you know, and I'll share this now. Like, I even told the buyer, great guy. And I said, look, after, you know, we, you know, shared the samples, I said, look, man, you know, whatever decision you make, all I'm saying is we can make history together.
Yeah.
And by him doing, I said, by you saying, giving the okay, it's not only for Island Ave, it's for other Pacific Islander brands that come down the line. It provides them with hope. Yeah. So it's just, yes, me physically walking in this door that you see, but there's a whole bunch of people behind me, right, that I represent, that their voices need to be heard in apparel. And so when he gave the okay, I said, man, we're about to make history. And that's when we decided to do the 5 different activations. Here we are on number 3. And this is a big lead up to here in Honolulu. And we're very, very excited. We've built up some great momentum coming here, and it's just, again, relationships. Yeah, I can't help to emphasize that.
I think the key to success, it sounds like from you, is being selfless and having these relationships. Because I mean, that's what Siaosi was talking about too, is the relationship that you built with him. Yeah. That you were able to just, you know, and that's the thing. That's the scary part. Even for me, like when I do things, I'm like, man, I can't just text somebody and be like, you know, it's like he's kind of busy. He's up there. He's doing this. He's making 6 figures in a day. You know, like there's no way I can. But like for you know, you accessible, and you're paving the way for, like you said,
Yeah, I'm not a texter. I'm a caller. If you give me your number, I'm calling you. And I'm gonna call you a couple of times, right?
Well, that's it.
Yeah, wifey knows. Like when I'm in the room and I'm trying to, contact somebody, she knows. She was like, "Are you gonna do?" I said, "Yup." And then she takes off running, and I go up to the guy and I say, "Hey, how's it going, Mr. Jeff Bezos?" Well, my name is Favai, and I have this thing that I always do. And again, you guys could take it as entrepreneurs. It takes confidence to do it. I'll get the conversation going, and then before you know it, I'll just pull out the phone. Here you go. Just go ahead and put your number right there. So at that point, the guy, and again, this is 100%. It's always worked. Yeah. At that point, the guy has to look at my phone and either make up a number, right? Yep. Or put in his right number right there. Or just tell me no. So it's harder for someone to tell you no in your face.
Yeah.
It's worked every time. So you guys can take it.
So nobody said no.
No one ever said no.
Bro, I wouldn't.
Boom, and just go ahead and give me your number right there.
Yeah. With that, I wouldn't be like, no, I wouldn't say no. Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, bro, hit me up, man. Yeah. Hit me up. Yeah, that's cool. Man, now we got a secret. We have any more secrets for somebody who's trying to make a right business move? You taught us about relationships.
I think one of the main pieces of advice that I always tell young up and coming entrepreneurs is study the business model. So whatever business industry you decide to go into, right? Real estate, apparel, film, or whatnot. Before you do that, there's obviously some passion that has taken you down that road. But before you go and do the creative part, study the business model. Meaning, how do you go from A to Z and get a sale, right? Mm-hmm. So if it's a film, how do you create the film and actually sell it? Right? If it's apparel, how do I create a t-shirt and produce it and then sell it? Study the business model. And once you've studied the model, then you can say, do I have a competitive advantage within this business model? Is there a production studio that I own? Is there, a relationship that I have that gives me the upper hand in which I can compete in this market? So always study the business model first, because remember, the creative part is the easy part, right? Then it's combining both and then building a business around it. So it's the business model that I tell all entrepreneurs, study the model first before you nosedive in there.
Wow. And a lot of entrepreneurs paid a lot of money just to hear what we just heard. I'm just going to say, and they made a lot of those mistakes. Yeah. They made a lot of mistakes to get to this point. Because, I think, I like to say, as your testimony is so somebody else doesn't have to go through it. What you've gone through, so somebody else doesn't have to go through. So with Siaosi, your music, man, tell us, your musical journey is it's nonstop, man. I know you got something that you just dropped something new.
I did. I just dropped a couple of singles recently, and I also dropped a single which I produced alongside with Calvin Kana from Dubwise. We produced a kid out of LA, from Long Beach, in fact. His brand new single that just came out called "If I," which I'm trying to get on the radio over here. So doing that, and then like as Favai mentioned earlier, so I just recently did a Warner writing camp for Asian Pacific Islander Month. Nice. And I was able to work with some of the best in the industry, DJ Flicked, who produced. Shout out to Flick. Yeah, shout out to Flick. He produced a bunch of like the Fifth Harmony hits, and for a bunch of other hip hop artists and R&B artists. And I also got to work with Dinah Jane in the studio, in which you'll be hearing the song real soon.
You got a song with Dinah Jane?
Oh, yeah, banger. Yeah. Well, actually, I was in there writing, and I did some. You'll hear me on the BVs and stuff like that. We got
BVs are background vocals.
Yes, sir.
I was just about to ask.
Background vocals.
Yeah. But through that, like he was mentioning, making the connections and the contacts. I used to be that guy too. Super, man. I don't want to waste this guy's time and whatever. And he was like, no, you just got to ask. Yeah. So I kind of got into that mode of like, you know what, if you never know, you have to ask. It's either a yes or a no. Yeah. And if it's a maybe, then I'm gonna try again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So recently I was there, the last mixer before I flew out here, after they had the panel thing, then we had the little mixer on the side, and this guy walks up to me. And he's like,
breaking news.
He's like, Siaosi, man, I'm a big fan of yours. I caught your last show at Mai Tais. I said, oh, what's up, man? He goes, yeah, I actually met you years ago. I don't think you remember me, but when you used to sing background vocals for J Boog, I've been a fan ever since. And he's like, look, man, I am the licensing person for music for NBA 2K. But I really want to put some of your music on the video game. Would you be down for that? I said, yeah.
Wait, what?
Breaking news.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
here, Romeo Valentine.
We're working on the licensing right now. He just emailed me while I was in the air and we're going back and forth. He said, I'm gonna shoot you the email now, take a look at it, but I need you to shoot me your music, and if you can introduce me to more other island artists. I won't mention the names because I don't want to ruin the surprise, but I'll be reaching out to some of those guys to get our music onto NBA 2K because he wants to open it up because he's a big fan of the music. So
that's crazy.
So this is the kind of things that he's saying. You know, it's not just for me, it's for us.
What the heck, bro?
Yeah. So we have to do it. We have to do it this way. And you know, for me, I'm not the holder of the key. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be there to help open the door. You know what I mean? So any way that I can help out and do it, and of course, you know, by doing that, I'm gonna be blessed too, man. Look, I'm blessed here right now with my man. You know what I'm saying?
What the
so
heck?
now we're in Nordstrom. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know, you never think Boy from Kapahulu gonna be on NBA 2K.
Never thought
your
that.
song on there.
No.
And in Nordstrom.
And in Nordstrom. What the heck?
Yeah. So man, it's just
In the biggest mall.
right.
What?
Right. So this journey has been a learning process, but also a blessing at the same time.
That's crazy. So I noticed that you've been doing a lot of collabs with a lot of different people as you've been going city to city. And I think, was it your most recent one was with Bun B?
Sir, yeah,
Bro, I saw that on Instagram. I was like, yo, that's Bun B. Like, bro, he is.
It's a legend.
Yeah.
A legend in the hip hop game.
Yeah, and especially in the city, you got the key. He must have the key to the city.
He did.
Yeah.
He does. He did. Yep.
And he got his Trill Burgers going crazy.
Mm-hmm. Best burger in America right there.
Yeah, and I see the what is it? I always see what is those articles of it, and I'm like, oh sheesh, I gotta try it, but it's not in Hawaii. We got nothing here, you know. I mean,
That's why I said.
Well, actually, Bun said he's trying to bring it here.
Yeah.
He said
really?
that last Saturday. Yeah, he's trying to bring it here. So, if you're interested, call me.
I got your numbers. I'm on entrepreneurship too, so you want me to hit me up.
Right.
Like Romeo calling me again. Like, you need more advice? No, but well, okay. So how did you connect with like some of these guys? I mean, you got Bun B from the Lakers, Malik Beasley.
So again, great question. And so I had this idea. And I shopped it to the buyer, and I said, look, aside from the collection we're going to release, I have this idea, especially if we could choose the 5 locations, in which we did, right? Then I said, look, because we own the manufacturing on the printable side, I have relationships in all these cities. Now, if you look at strategically, this is exactly what artists do when they go on tour.
Yeah.
Right? Especially big artists, right? Like Siaosi. So he'll go to the Bay, or he'll go to Utah or Pacific Northwest. And what they do is those local artists open up for him.
Yeah.
As the headliner, right?
Yeah.
So what I did was I had relationships with folks in these different areas, and it's technically the same concept, because you know that in that area they have a strong pull there. And so I said, look, I have this relationship, I have this idea for a collab. We have the manufacturing, in which we're vertically integrated on the manufacturing side, so we can literally create a logo and print it and sell it in the same day. So the buyer was like, look, if you can do it at your facility, let's do it. And so I obviously, through the relationships, connected the dots, told everybody what the idea was. Everybody was for it. I mean, I never forget the call that I had with Siaosi, and it was just, again, it's an honor. He's from here, you know what I mean? Born and bred here. It's just families for everybody. When they come out, there's a sense of pride now. And same thing with Bun. Again, Houston legend, Port Arthur legend there. When his people came out, it was like, man, like he made it into Nordstrom's, right? And he even told the team, which is my business partners on the restaurant side, he's like, look, guys, this is already a go, because they're not just letting anyone into Nordstrom's. Let's just be clear about this. Yeah. Right. So it was already a go. And it just goes back again, relationships. I tell people all the time, all these people that I've collabed with, I've built long-term relationships with them.
That's so cool. And actually, Joe Sav actually introduced us.
There we go.
Yeah, Joe Sav.
Shout out to my guy.
I got to shout him out.
Sav.
Yeah, Sav, and he's been a great guy. He's always been it makes sense. He's good people. You're good people, and you surround yourself with good people.
Yes, sir.
That's how you do it. So you guys got a big launch. What can we expect from the launch going down at Nordstrom, followed by the after party at Mai Tais with Siaosi? Where's Siaosi going to be jamming out?
Oh, you already know. Go ahead, Siaosi.
Yeah, we're gonna go live, and then what his vision is basically celebrating the culture and celebrating who we are, And that's what tomorrow's going to be filled with, letting people know that we're there.
Yeah.
You know, we exist. You know, we're here in your space. So, you know, we just look forward to blessing that area, man, and then celebrating at Mai Tais right after.
Yeah,
Can't forget about
part of the
that.
culture.
Right? Yeah, it's part of the culture.
And then at the core of the activations is sharing the culture, right? Song and dance, you know, as Pacific Islanders, right? This is part of our culture. And to share it on a platform like Nordstrom and for them to approve it has been a dream come true, because not only did the line get in there, we're bringing in the whole community plus the culture unapologetically, right? And so that's what we've been able to share with all the different activations. And it's just been a phenomenal response. Like, people are just like blown away. They hear the drums, they hear the music. Obviously, we'll have a Polynesian dance group there. Siaosi's going to jam for us. DJ Osna, right? Yeah, he's going to be there too. We may have some special guests, so make sure you come out. We can announce that, and then, you know, shortly thereafter, we'll all go upstairs and set it off at Mai Tai.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there for the activation, man. I'll be there for the activation. I gotta be there.
Yes, sir.
It's a big deal. We've been talking for a while, and I'm, man, excited for your entire run, man. This is crazy, crazy to think about, you know. And I'm sure, do you pinch yourself every day, like, yo, we're here?
I do. I mean, Chelsea and I was in there just to you know, we did the, you know, 808 living there, and man, it just to be standing there and the cameras are on, you see the apparel, and it was just all a dream. So it just goes back to everybody that's on their entrepreneur journey, man. It starts off with a vision, but as we always talked about, you got to put in the work, right? And so I hope, I've been saying this, and this has been a general theme, that when you see Island Ave, that you see yourself. You know what I mean? We're a brand of dreamers, and, you know, it was just a dream, and now we're in Nordstrom, so definitely excited for it.
Yeah, and you got a lot of pieces. The pieces you're wearing, from the pants to the tees. Well, what is the title of this one?
Yeah,
the Aloha shirt.
You know, this is our signature piece, and it's referred to as the Aloha Tux, and this is our modern rendition of the traditional Hawaiian shirt. Wow. And so we've been working on this piece for a couple years now, and all we did was just take the same cut, obviously some updated fabric and patterns, and then put a tuxedo lapel on it with a pocket, and it's, you know, people have been loving it, you know, and it's a piece that you could wear to the beach during the day, and at the same time, you know what I mean, have a formal dinner at night with that special someone, and really walk in the room and, you know, win it. You know what I mean? Be a showstopper. So, yeah, we have 3 different versions of it, you know, tomorrow at Nordstrom when you stop on through. And also, again, looking out for our Pacific Islanders, we go up to 3X.
Ooh,
okay, most brands don't. Okay?
No, they don't. They don't.
Trust me.
I don't have to suck it in.
You gotta buy 2 shirts and just glue them together. That's what usually. Wow. Okay. So you're gonna, and then the tee.
Yeah, we got. Yep. So again, graphic tees. We got a couple graphic tees. As I had mentioned to Romeo, that's actually a picture of my father's village in Samoa. So it's being able to, man, to share the culture through and through, from the graphics, you know, to the just, you know, the patterns and how we were inspired by the different pieces. Yep. And that way, when you actually wear it, it's a piece of Pacific Island culture.
And one thing I wanted to add, you know, when I first felt the fabric, everything is like top quality stuff, man. And I'm not gonna lie, this is top quality stuff. This is, you know, when you feel t-shirts, you know, you can know right off the bat.
Yeah,
this is top quality, man. You
be able to wear it a couple times, and not only that, we actually printed that at my shop in Carson, California. So there's a sense of pride of being able to employ the community, and that being able to be printed in Carson, and then now it's actually in Nordstrom's.
That's
so
crazy.
A sense of pride there. Yep.
That's crazy. Well, man, appreciate you guys for stopping in. Man, anything else you want to add before we jump on out of here?
Yeah, we just, you know, again, thank you, Romeo, for having us on, man. It's definitely a blast. I'm glad we was able to finally meet.
Yeah.
And so also to everybody in Oahu, man, we want to see you tomorrow. It's going to be a great vibe right there at Ala Moana Nordstrom. It's 2 to 5. As I mentioned earlier, just once you hear the drums, once you hear the music, just follow the vibe, baby. We'll be there, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And you took this with you all the way. You took this with you to all the cities. I seen that every single one. You had the drums, you had the dancers. Bro, I was like, yo,
we're taking the show on the road.
Yes. So did you find a halal or something in each city?
Going back to relationships, right? Yes, including here as well as in Utah and then back home in LA. So, Yep.
That's phenomenal. And anything else you want to add, Siaosi?
Oh man, just thank you to my bro right here.
Yeah.
And, I just hope to see all of you guys tomorrow, all the way till tomorrow morning.
Yes,
Then
tomorrow morning.
So come party with us, man. Come celebrate.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Island Avenue right here, COC Favai. Appreciate you guys for coming on in right here with 93.9 The Beat, iHeartRadio. Congratulations on all your success thus far. And this is what's crazy is like it's here. You don't it seems like it's here, but reality you're with how you're going. It's like you're bursting bubbles that you don't even imagine. So congratulations, man. Congratulations, both of you. NBA 2K, Nordstrom activation. My goodness, man, this has been great, man. Appreciate you guys, and enjoy your time back home, and enjoy your time back here and the next rest of the activation tour, man. Congrats.
Thank you for having us.
Thank y'all. We'll see y'all next time right here. Hawaii's #1 for hip hop, 93.9 The Beat, iHeartRadio. Shout out to my dog Milk over here who's been hiding.
Milk.
Yeah,
Milk.
DJ Milk. And we'll see y'all next time. Aloha.